July 13th, 1941. 3 weeks ago, you've sent over 3 million men into the Soviet Union, with hundreds of thousands of horses and motorized vehicles, thousands of guns, tanks and planes. Your armies have conquered an enormous amount of land, taken hundreds of thousands of prisoners. Your mechanized spearheads are getting closer than ever to Leningrad, Moscow, and in Ukraine, they have already established a bridge over the Dnieper, and now they have to stop. The logistics crisis that paralyzed the panzers of Hoth and Guderian last week, this week hits the entire Eastern Front. For the first time since June 22nd, the Germans have been stopped. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new weekly episode, a new turn, a new episode, a new week, a new something. And officially, actually, welcome to the very first episode in which I combined into one 3 single episodes. So, yes, it's true, I said a couple of seconds ago that the Germans have been stopped. Maybe I kind of exaggerated in saying this, but what I meant is that the advances that you will see in this turn were like nothing. Literally nothing compared to what you have been witnessing in the past 3 weeks. And this is because, as I said at the beginning, mainly because of logistical reasons. By, let's say, mid-July 1941, the Axis forces on the Eastern Front have nearly exhausted their offensive potential by reducing the supply priority in an effort to save on the vehicle's consumption. I inevitably reduced the amount of movement points that the units were receiving, and of course the supplies, the ammunition, the fuel, and the usual stuff that units get when they that units receive when they get resupplied. And so basically, because I don't want to annoy you with talking and describing every single action that you will see in this unique turn, let's say briefly, I have reassigned a part of the 18th Army to the 4th Panzer Group, because my idea was to have at least a line of infantry, or I would say regimented infantry divisions, to screen the left flank of the 4th Panzer Group. This was absolutely a must because, of course, von Manstein's 56th Motorized Army Corps will have the task to ideally advance around Leningrad to besiege it. I would say sooner than later. And so I needed to have like a corridor through which let the supplies flow to reach the spearhead of Army Group North, so von Manstein's 56th Motorized Army Corps. At the same time, the 18th Army, or the remnants of the 18th Army, were tasked of advancing into Estonia. The 16th Army had the task of securing instead the left flank, the right flank of the 4th Panzer Group, while the 3rd Panzer Group and the 9th Army had the goal of just surrounding and encircling all those isolated enemy units that were around the line of contact of the Axis forces. The 4th Army had the task of, let's say, bringing up its troops along the main front line and protect the left flank of the 2nd Panzer Group, and the 2nd Panzer Group in turn was tasked of, again, just like the 3rd one, to encircle as many divisions as possible, of course within a very limited range, and you will see it soon. Again, I was forced to regiment my panzer divisions and my motorized infantry divisions. And a similar, let's say, motive occurred within the sector of Army Group South, where sure the first Panzer Group managed to advance beyond the Dnieper River, but again it was nothing like the ride of the Panzers of the last 2 weeks. And yeah, so with this let's say brief overview of what happened this week on the Eastern Front, I wish you folks all the best. I thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Of course, if you have any question about what happened, or the strategies of the supplies and so on and so forth, as always, leave them here below in the comments, and I will reply to them as soon as I possibly can. And yeah, as always, I wish you all the best, folks, and well, I hope to see you all again next week.